Hey guys, so today I want to talk about and review a book that I just read entitled Black Like Me by John Howard Griffin. I've been wanting to read this book for quite some time. I've never been able to see it, I've never been able to really find it. I found it on the book outlet and I ordered it up, and of course, I came in and I read it. And essentially, what it is about a guy in the 1950s named John Howard Griffin, who was a writer. He was a journalist. He wrote some books. He wanted to know exactly what Black people go through and what they experience in the South if the media um, really was portraying them how they actually were. And the only way that he would really know is if he was actually black himself. So, with the help of a doctor and the use of medication, UV rays, and skin dye, he turned himself black and quite dark at that. He was quite a dark black man by the description that he gave and other black people gave to him in this book. So he traveled throughout the South. He went to New Orleans for a bit, Mobile, Alabama, Mississippi. So into various areas, various states, various cities in the South to experience what Black people really go through in the South. And it was a 6 week thing. He did that. He was black for 6 weeks before he turned himself to a white person. Again, very interesting. The beginning was very interesting on how he did it and why he did it and all that and what everybody thought of it. So that was very interesting. It was very interesting, the ending as well, to see how he turned himself white. The middle part of what he went through as a black person and what black people went through wasn't really shocking. It was pretty much what we know of what black people had gone through at the time is essentially what he went through. He did experience racism. He did fear for his life at a couple instances while he was black. He even had to like call a friend to come rescue him at one point. So, but I mean, there was nothing that was really kind of shocking about this book, and nothing really that was kind of mind blowing or anything like that. But it was still a really good read. I read it slowly just so I could take it all in. I found some parts of this book to really kind of just drag and be pointless. He kind of just really wanted to hammer through, um, you know, what black people went through essentially and how things could be better for them and so on and so forth. So a little bit repetitive in that aspect. The most interesting part of this book I found was to be the after, like when he turned himself white, because he continued on the story. He turned himself back to a white guy, and then the story broke, and there's a whole thing about like him doing interviews, talk shows, writing this book, so on and so forth. But there was a lot of he got a lot of death threats. People like threatened him. People threatened his family. People threatened his parents. People stalked him. So he actually ended up having to go into hiding. His parents ended up having to move to Mexico because they feared for their lives. He had to move himself and his family to Mexico because they feared for their lives, and just the harassment and everything just got to be too much. So I found that portion to be more interesting. But this book was really good at sticking with you. It stuck with me for basically up until now. I think about it and it really stuck with me. And it's a really good read. A little bit repetitive at times, a little bit kind of just like, you know, nothing surprising, nothing shocking, but still a really great read. I give it, out of 6 stars, I give it like 5.75 out of 6. So really, really good read. I do recommend it to everybody and anybody that wants to read. Short book, including the aftermath and all the foreword, all that stuff. It's 200 pages, like an even 200 pages. So really quick read. You could read it in like a day. But that's the book, and we'll check you in the next video.